Coming up on First at 4, workers say shoplifting is a big problem at one gas station despite cameras all over the store. And an investigation is underway after a deadly mining accident in Bell County.
A mix of sun and clouds arrives over the next 2 days. First at 4 is next.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, an owner at a gas station in Floyd County says he's fed up with people stealing. He says when people do that, it just drives the prices up for other customers. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher has more.
With 48 surveillance cameras, many would believe thieves would not hit up this gas station. But these surveillance cameras show a different story.
It used to divide into two parts. Now we've got it wide open until cameras basically see everywhere.
Jack Patel and Danny Hampton say shoplifting is not uncommon at this Quick Mart gas station in Floyd County. They say many are intoxicated while they steal.
A lot of them are on drugs.
They are in drugs or pills or meth, and they don't know what they are doing.
Hampton says stealing hurts every customer in the long run.
When the shoplifter shoplifts, somebody has to cover that cost, so the product will go up.
In this surveillance footage, Patel says he watched this man steal nearly $70 worth of merchandise, such as things like coffee creamer to phone chargers.
And that tire flat kit, he don't even have a car. Why he need that,
Hampton says if someone asked for food, they would give it to them. So there's really no reason to steal. In Floyd County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Tonight at 6, we'll explain how these crimes hurt the business, even when it's small-priced items that are stolen.
Well, not the best forecast for your Monday. Cloudy skies, gloomy conditions, and the cold temperatures. They've been the main story for us here in Eastern Kentucky. And as we take a look at local view here of satellite radar, you'll notice that cloud cover still thick in nature, and now a little bit of clearing occurring in the Commonwealth as you work across Interstate 65. For us, it's going to take some time, but I do think we see some peaks of some clearing conditions, but not everyone, at least at once. Temperatures right now across the state, they're cold. 31 in Hazard, 34 in Paducah, and 32 in Pulaski County there at Somerset. Really the warmest spot on our map, that's in Jacksboro, Tennessee. 37 there, 35 in Bell County, and a cold 28 as you work into Logan, West Virginia, with some of that cold air at least working in. The weather headlines pretty simple. It's a mix of clouds throughout the next couple of days. It's not going to be full-blown sunshine, but at least a warmer trend with some drying conditions. As we head into your Thursday, that arrives the arrival of system number 1. System number 2 the weekend, and they're both going to provide a shot at some colder air. Steve, when all is said and done, some of the coldest air so far for the winter season could be present. We'll break down everything we know at this time coming up in a few short minutes.
All right, Andrew, thank you very much. Now to a developing story we've been following most of the day. An accident at a mine in Bell County has left one man dead. The Bell County coroner has just released some new information in the last few moments. He says this morning engineer Jeffrey Norman Sloan of Clinton, Tennessee, was in a power haulage accident involving a shuttle car. MSHA is conducting an investigation. No other injuries were reported, and we hope to have much more on this coming up at 6. President Donald Trump is pushing back after reports that the FBI opened an inquiry into whether or not he was an agent of Russia. CBS's Mo Lelenghi has more from the White House.
It's a lot of fake news.
President Trump is on the defense after 2 separate reports about his possible dealings with Russia. The Washington Post reported the president went to great lengths to hide the details of a meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin, even taking away the notes from his own interpreter.
It was actually a very successful meeting, and I have those meetings with everything. I just know nothing about it.
The New York Times reported that the FBI opened an investigation into whether the president is secretly working on behalf of Russia. following the firing of former director James Comey.
I never worked for Russia. Not only did I never work for Russia, I think it's a disgrace that you even asked that question.
Members of the Trump administration say leaks are one reason why the president has kept the details of his meetings under wraps, and they argue the president has been very tough on Russia.
This president has expelled over 60 Russians from this country, closed 2 consulates. Our Treasury Department right over there has issued fresh new sanctions on Russia.
The top Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee, Mark Warner, says Congress passed the sanctions and the White House is dragging its feet.
Many of us would argue that while those sanctions have been put in place, the Trump administration has been very slow at implementing those sanctions.
Warner's committee has been investigating Russian collusion for nearly as long as special counsel Robert Mueller, almost 2 years. House Democrats are also expected to ramp up investigations of the Trump administration. The Oversight Committee will hold a public hearing with President Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen, next month. Mola Lenghi, CBS News, the White House.
Meanwhile, a confirmation hearing for President Trump's Attorney General nominee, William Barr, is set to start tomorrow. Since Republicans control the Senate, it is likely that Barr will ultimately be confirmed. However, he will probably face a grilling from lawmakers during the hearings. Barr has publicly condemned special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian election meddling and possible obstruction of justice by President Trump. The partial government shutdown is now in its 24th day. Not only is there no end in sight, there is also no sign of how it might end. It is already the longest government shutdown in U.S. history, but President Trump says it cannot end unless Congress agrees to fund a border wall. Democrats say the government will reopen as soon as the president stops insisting on a wall. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham suggested temporarily reopening the government to give lawmakers a chance to craft a compromise.
That was a suggestion that Lindsey made, but I did reject it, yes. I'm not interested. I want to get it solved. I don't want to just delay it. I want to get it solved.
A new CBS News poll shows 70% of Americans are worried the shutdown will hurt the economy. Nearly half blame the shutdown on the president. 30% say it is Congress's fault. Some air travelers out of Atlanta may need some extra patience at the airport today. Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport is reporting long wait times for travelers at TSA security checkpoints. This morning, wait times for all 3 domestic terminal checkpoints were running at more than 1 hour. The airport's director of communications says it had to close some of the security lanes because of the government shutdown. TSA agents at airports across the nation are currently expected to work without pay. There have been reports that a high number of screeners have called in sick in recent days. America's top diplomat cut his Mideast trip short because of a family funeral, but not before pressing leaders in Saudi Arabia about the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo met with Saudi Arabia's king and crown prince for more than an hour today, telling them the Trump administration expects every single person responsible for the death of journalist Khashoggi to be punished.
They both acknowledged that accountability needed to take place. They talked about the process that's occurring inside of the country, both the investigative process and the judicial process.
U.S. intelligence suggests Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman may have ordered Khashoggi's killing. The Washington Post columnist was murdered and dismembered at the Saudi consulate in Istanbul in October. His body has never been found. The suspect responsible for an hours-long hostage standoff at a New Jersey UPS facility is in custody. A prosecutor says a gunman barricaded himself and 2 female UPS employees inside a room earlier this morning in Logan Township. The prosecutor says there was apparently a relationship between the man and one of the women. Authorities were negotiating with the suspect before a SWAT team moved in and the suspect was shot. The women are not believed to be seriously hurt. There's no word on the suspect's condition. A Wisconsin man was charged in connection with the abduction of 13-year-old Jamie Kloss and the killing of Kloss's parents. Jake Thomas Patterson appeared in court today. He faces 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide, kidnapping, and armed burglary. Investigators say Patterson broke into James and Denise Kloss's home near Barron, Wisconsin on October 15th and killed them. They say Patterson then kidnapped Jamie. Jamie was able to escape Thursday from a remote northwestern Wisconsin cabin where she told investigators Patterson held her against her will. Patterson was arrested the same day. Let's head over to Wall Street now on this dreary Monday afternoon. The Dow closes down today more than 86 points.
LA teachers walk out of the classroom and into the streets. I'm Robert Gray in Los Angeles. I'll tell you what they're fighting for.
And a mix of sun and clouds for now, but 2 more systems impact us late week. We'll break down those details coming up.
It's a new year and a new you with Abilize. Finally, get rid of your glasses and contacts for only $1,800 per eye on all laser LASIK surgery. No hidden fees or charges. Don't put off LASIK surgery another day. Trust your eyes only to the best. Abilize.
The research here at St. Jude is very important. It gave my daughter a second chance at life.
Because we have donors that believe in what we're doing, we can really move our research forward much faster.
St. Jude is working to drive the overall survival rate for childhood cancer to 90% in the next decade. And we won't stop until no child dies from cancer.
Because of you. Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
This is breaking news from Wolf, Williams & Reynolds. After working most of their lives in the coal industry, thousands of miners are waiting for lost jobs to come back. The sad fact is, most miners already suffer from broken bodies and black lung. That's where Wolf, Williams & Reynolds can help. Disabled Social Security and black lung benefits were put in place to protect the worker. Call 1-800-446-0167 now. Get the process started to bring the relief you need. Wolf, Williams & Reynolds. This is an advertisement.
It's Toyota's all-wheel drive season, and with 10 all-wheel or 4-wheel drive vehicles to choose from, like the rugged Tacoma or the Room for 8 Highlander, mud feels like it's no obstacle. Ice, no obstacle. And snow, no obstacle. Plus, with $1,250 cash back on a new all-wheel drive 2019 Highlander or a low-mileage lease on a front-wheel drive LE for $269 a month, getting a great deal this winter is no obstacle during Toyota's all-wheel drive season. Toyota, let's go places.